Native, talk a little bit about what's happening today.
Well, what we're doing today is basically it has to do with the workshops and seminars for the makeup artists, hairstylists, people who are in the arts. So this is basically the reason why I created the Beauty Box Expo. It's for people within the art industry. So musicians, artists, makeup artists, hairstylists, stylists, fashion editors. So this is the reason why I created Beauty Box Expo, so that way we can create a platform to build each one of our brands, I guess you could say. Yeah, so that's basically what I'm doing today. So we're conducting seminars, we're doing live demos for hair and makeup, and we're doing interviews. So we're trying to get the business out there.
Yeah, and you're doing a wonderful job. This is a great place. It's very spacious, and that's one of the wonderful things. When I walked in, I realized it's so spacious. It feels nice and airy, and it's beautiful. So people will come in, and they will love it. Now, talk a little bit about going from city to city. You guys are traveling.
Yes.
This is a traveling beauty box. They're not staying in one spot.
No, we're not. We're actually, New York City is actually our inaugural event. So we're actually going on an 11-city tour here in the United States. From here, we're going to D.C., from D.C. to Atlanta, from Atlanta to Dallas, from Dallas to Vegas to Chicago, and then we're going to go, we're going up north. We're going to go see the Canadians. We're going to go to Toronto, and then we're going to go across the pond. And we're going to go to London, and from London to Germany, and Germany to Australia. And then our final and last stop will be Ocho Rios, Jamaica.
My goodness. I mean, that sounds amazing. This woman certainly is going to be busy. Now, if people want to get involved, I mean, you have stylists here, like you said, different brands, you know, they want to boost their brand and things like that. How can they get involved with the Beauty Box Expo?
Oh, absolutely. All you got to do is just go on our website, which is www.beautyboxexpo.com. There are registration. You'll see the tab of registration, and there's registration for those who would like to get involved in regards to like building their brands. So, and we also have registration for, registration for makeup artists and hairstylists and stylists. And also, there's also a contact form on the Beauty Box Expo. Just it sends it directly towards my team. We actually look at every single one of our emails, and we respond within 24 hours.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, you have it there from Native. We are at the Beauty Box Expo. I'm Sophia Davis, reporting for Fashion Avenue News, and we'll be right back in just a moment. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Fashion Avenue News. I am here with the fabulous designer. He does everything, not just shoes, Mr. John Ashford. Now, John, you do shoes, but you also do clothes. You do a lot of stuff. First of all, tell us a little bit about you getting into design. How did that happen?
Purely accident. I'm trained as a visual artist, a painter. And when I moved to New York from D.C., a friend of mine who was a stylist, she did a lot of like hip-hop styling and things like that, but she asked me to paint on a pair of her shoes. This is like in the mid-90s. And I asked her why. She's like, because I like your art. So I was like, all right. So she gave me these shoes. I thought they were like Payless shoes, fake snakeskin, plastic. And so I painted it on the shoes. It was about this much space. And she came over the next day and took the shoes. I didn't charge her. It was like, to me, it was a one-time deal. And then I get a call from this guy named Mike who worked at a store called Petit Baton, which at the time was a very popular shoe store in the Village of New York City, but I had no idea of that store. So he said, we want you to do what you did on Nicole's shoes for our store. And I'm like, dude, I don't even know what you're talking about. So then I went to the store and I was blown away, walked down the steps and find the shoes that I painted on that I thought were Payless were Giuseppe Zanotti snakeskin wedges, valued at $2,500. So I was like, okay. So the owner was like, what made you paint on snakeskin? So I told him I thought it was fake snakeskin. So he said, no, not everyone can do that. Did you have training in this? I'm like, yeah, I went to school for art. I used to have my art on The Martin Show, The Jamie Foxx Show, the Wayans Brothers, the Parkers, all those, most of them were sitcoms, but a lot of those shows had my artwork featured on the wall in the background. Most people don't watch those shows and look at the background, but if you ever see a repeat, you say, hey, I did a lot of the art for that, yeah. So that was my first career. And then after I did the shoe for Nicole, I started working with Petit Patin. So that store was, you know, Beyonce shopped there, Monica shopped there. Monica was popular at the time. Like all the popular people went to Petit Patin to get their shoes. So 3 years later, I'm in a hip hop band as a DJ. And the band, we got a record deal in Paris. We used to tour and open for the Roots. And we went to Italy. I met a shoe cobbler at a coffee shop. I was showing him pictures of the shoes from Petit Patin, and he was like, I'm going to teach you how to make a shoe. It's actually as, I'm going to teach you how to make a shoe. That's how he said it. And I was like, dude, whatever. I got his car, didn't think about it. The next day, the tour manager was like, we have a layover so you can see, you know, Italy. So I said, you know what, let me call the guy, you know. Called him at lunchtime, ended up staying 5.5 months. And that's where I learned how to like make shoes from scratch. And he taught me how to build a last, which most people don't even know what a last is. Mm-hmm. But that's really, a last is the mold in which you can create a shoe. So that's kind of how it started.
Sounds amazing. It's wonderful to hear how designers, you know, because designers are so creative. You're like, I look at your shoes, like, I love that tennis ball shoe with the tennis ball. I love the baseball shoe. And one of the things that really intrigues me about the shoes that, you know, you have is that sometimes they're never the same. Like the left is one shoe and the right is another. How did you come up with that concept? And people don't have a problem wearing them either.
You know what it is? Because I was making one-of-a-kind shoes, I'm like, why does the right have to look like the left? Why does it have to? If I'm not a machine, why do I have to copy what a machine does? So I said, let me make, the molds are the same, but the colors are a little different, you know? So I said, this is what I'm gonna do. And now I noticed that a lot of people take note to that. You know, like that's your thing, and I'd never thought about it. I just did it, you know. I always think like an artist, so I'm like, if the shoe is called ice cream, does it all have to be chocolate? Can I have some chocolate chip mint? Can I have some strawberry? Can I have some mango sorbet? You know, so that's kind of what I do, yeah.
Well, I think that's amazing because most people would never think to make two shoes different. They would make a pair that are shoes and thinking, okay, they're shoes, so they must match. But that's one of the things that I think is very genuine with you, John, is that your shoes are so different. And the boots, let's not even start to talk about the boots because the boots are just too fabulous, darling. Now, the boots, you have like a New York City skyline boot or something like that. I think I remember that, a thigh-high boot. Talk about that one. And New York City skyline, amazing.
Yeah. Well, that came from, you know, living in New York. You know, when I was a kid, I always thought about living in New York. When I got to New York, I was like, this is kind of like Zoo York. It's crazy. People are crazy. Everybody's mean and everybody's, yo, you know, I'm at the store and I was like, I'm gonna dedicate a shoe how I felt in New York. So not everybody is mean in New York, but New York is really aggressive compared to a lot of other cities that I've been to. So I'm like, if I do a shoe, it has to be aggressive. It has to have nails in it. It has to have some jail bars in it, you know? I don't even want to talk about the police, but let's, you know, the point I'm trying to make is that, like, I always think as an artist, whatever that means, but I always think just do what you feel instead of, I don't make shoes and go, this is going to sell. I've been blessed that they do sell, but I go, you know what? This is the statement, and this is what it is. You know, when you talk about thigh-high boots, I'm thinking about Jamaica. I did a pair of shoes called Jamaica. And I was in Jamaica at one of those resorts, and they had these really cool shower curtains. Now, I can't mention the name of the resort because they could get back to me. But anyway, I took the shower curtains and made a boot, a thigh-high boot out of the shower curtains. And the idea was there's two sides of Jamaica, just like there's two sides of New York. There's the tourist side of Jamaica, and then there's the other side of Jamaica. So I put that all together in the shoes. So when you look at the right foot, it's like, oh, Ocho Rios. When you look at the other side, it's like Kingston, you know. So as I'm talking, I'm thinking, wow, I do that a lot. I always have both kind of sides. So there's two sides of every story.
And I think that's wonderful. It's great to see the touristy side, but it's really good to see the real side, you know, because the real side is where people live. The real side are the neighborhoods. The real side are the people. Right. So I think that that is really amazing. Now, if someone wants to get a set of John Ashford shoes, now, and I say a set, not a pair, because a pair match. Let's say a set of John Ashford shoes. Website, email, phone number?
Okay. Can we start with Instagram? At Instagram, it's at John Ashford Shoes. At Facebook, it's it's facebook.com/John Ashford. My website is www.authenticbyjohnashford.com. So if you really want a pair or a set, I like that, Google me, and all those things will pop up. I'm loving Instagram.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, you throw a shoe up, I like it. What's the size? Send the PayPal, boom, done. Okay. You know, so yeah, those are right now the easiest ways. I have a showroom on 37th between 7th and 8th. I'm rarely ever there because I'm always making shoes. But Fashion Week, come see me.
That is fabulous. Well, I am here with the wonderful designer, John Ashford, and he does more than shoes. We're talking authentic. I'm Sophia Davis, reporting for Fashion Avenue News, and we'll be right back in just a moment. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Fashion Avenue News. I am here with the fabulous Miss Stacey, the Beauty Box partner, producer, okay? They're here, they're working it. This is amazing, Stacey. How did you guys come up with this concept?
Well, initially, the creator of it, Miss Native Eleanor, came up with this amazing idea. She's an awesome makeup artist and hairstylist. And we always spoke about creating some kind of platform for new designers, for new products, beauty products that are out there that need exposure, that probably they wouldn't have an opportunity to get certain kind of exposure, and we thought it'd be great to provide that with them. And I'm always about helping somebody else, so I believed in her journey and what she wanted to do. I definitely wanted to be a part of it, so whatever I could do production-wise, I was down to do it.
Well, I think you guys put together a wonderful event. You've got panels going on. You've got press here interviewing. You've got John Ashford with his shoes. I mean, it is happening, honey. And you guys did it right in the heart of New York City, which is 40th Street. This is great because most of the time, you know, if you do it too far off, you know, or something like that, you can't get to it. But you guys have a great spot.
A great location, right around the corner from Port Authority, super close to Penn Station. And it's just a really great opportunity to see people like the Madison Jays and the Pilar Scratches that are really doing some great things in media, and people such as yourself, Miss Davis, that are doing some fly things in this business and giving opportunities to people. You know, this magazine is everything, you know what I mean? Like, because it gives a lot of, it makes it touchable. You know what I mean? Accessible. You know what I mean? You know, and I really appreciate opportunities like this. Mm-hmm.
Well, thank you. And you guys have panels today. Talk a little bit about the panels. What are they talking about on the panels today?
Well, we're talking about, first of all, why we're here is also to benefit the American Heart Association, the Red Dress campaign. So that's part of it. And we have people that the questions are interested about beauty from the inside out. You know, how we take care of ourselves from the inside and how that reflects on the beauty on the outside. So today, our people that we have on the panels are media mogul Madison J. She's hosting. And then we have those such as Lovette Slater, who's a 3-time Emmy Award-winning hairstylist. You know, and we have a lot of people there that are just, you know, pink blush hair, people who are just really have amazing names for themselves behind the scenes in the fashion world.
And that's amazing because, you know, I think that this is something that's needed. We need to be able to touch base with these people. We need to know what they're doing next so we can go out and support them when they're doing something.
Absolutely. That's the only way we can know, you know, if we, you know, get in contact with those who are new, hot, and happening, you know,